Two Queers in a Truck. And I'm Billy James Gunn, and my sidekick, Christian Cano, partner with Gunn, is coming up next.
Hey everyone, I'm Jim's sidekick. Welcome to Two Queers in a Truck. Hi y'all.
See you soon. Good morning, everybody. It is Two Queers in a Truck time, and allegedly this is going to drop on April 8th. It's a little inside joke to Christian. I hope Christian's been exceptionally busy this spring, and I have too. So we've had to rearrange some schedules and maybe kind of sort out when we're going to drop these shows. So if it isn't quite on April 8th, you know, we are a little bootleg. So
we should get it. We should get it by April 8th. We should get it. Yeah, this should be a safe bet. You know, if I were a betting person, 99.
Hand grenades and horseshoes. If it's close, it's close. Let's go away.
That's right.
But so if in case this isn't April 8th, it should be fine. But it's no big deal. We have hundreds of shows to listen to between our sister show, Coffee and Dulcie, and this. If you need your Christian and Gersemi fix, you've got plenty of them to listen to.
We should just record like a 30-second. Hey, this is Two Queers in a Truck, April 8th. Hey, this is Two Queers in a Truck, April 1st, and we can add them to some of the old shows, and it would still be Trump did something stupid. So
except for when we talk about timely things that happened 2 years ago.
Exactly. That's right.
We'll have to record some generic shows. Hey, we're recording this, so we're letting the cat out of the bag.
Yeah, exactly.
Anyway, may have to delete that out. But anyway, that's actually something that's kind of funny. We've watched the death of truly masculine men happen in the last 10 or 20 years, and not the way that what's his face that used to be on Fox said when he did his homoerotic, the death of men type thing, but because I saw a post the other day and it struck me as important to repeat. And truly masculine men don't simp for Nazis. Masculine men don't worship billionaires. Masculine men don't cry over pronouns. Masculine men don't fear feminism. Masculine men fight for the oppressed. Masculine men fight fascism. Masculine men are for equality. Masculine men are self-aware, and masculine men are woke because they have the courage to do so. They don't have this toxic, fragile, queenie definition of masculine men, and they have the courage to stand up to fucking dictators and cowards. Because all dictators are cowards. They have to hide behind a gun or a lot of other supposed men. But ICE Nazis are the opposite of masculine men. They're fucking just putting on, instead of putting on frilly sissy dresses, they put on their little fatigues and they want to look all hard. But they got to cover up their face because they're afraid they're going to get canceled.
And the makeup.
Don't do Nazi shit. Don't do fascist shit. You won't get canceled, asshole. Mm-hmm. Don't shoot unarmed people, citizens, in the middle of the street. Pure and simple. Don't do Nazi shit. You don't have to worry about the consequence, or as I like to say, the big cock of consequence coming down on you.
That maybe they want that.
Well, they do want that, and they can get that without being a Nazi.
That's true.
West Hollywood wouldn't exist without that. I mean, come on. I mean, the gays built this city. And masculine men don't whine about women not submitting. Because I saw another post, and they were whining. There's this guy named Benny Johnson. If women stopped working, men would have more jobs. Women would need husbands, wives would stay home and have babies, families would multiply, America would heal. Basically, these fascists are blaming women not wanting to procreate with them, when the truth is they're going, bitch, I don't trust you. I've already had my reproductive rights taken away from. I can go to jail for accidentally aborting a child. Like, women, it is a record. We're at a record low birth rate for this country. There is more women under 30 without a child in this country than ever before. Generation Z women have said, there ain't no flipping way I'm having babies in this environment. They're petrified for a lot of reasons. Most of them are because of fascist men. And the problem is it's mostly men that support Trump. It's mostly men that support fascism. Because they want to be restored and appointed little kings of the world. And it's mostly 90% of the Republican Party is white men and their enablers. Look at Trump's cabinet. You know, it's a whole slew of white, Aryan-looking fucking Nazis. And posing as masculine men. Well, we know Pete Kickstand and especially J.D. Vance love a little eyeliner. You know, the couch fucker loves it. And Pete Kickstand, you know, he's put on some lipstick and probably danced to Erasure before. Somewhere, somehow. I mean, he didn't recall it because he's evaporated all the brain cells in his head with alcohol. But, and you know, RFK Jr., there's no telling what this guy's done. I mean, the years of heroin use, you know, like this guy, how the hell did this guy get involved with health and human services when this guy's a drug addict? A hard drug addict. It wasn't even like weed. This dude it is a heroin addict.
Yeah.
Even if he's not using, he's still an addict. You're an addict for life. You're an alcoholic for life. Whether you're sober or not is a different story. But getting sober and getting off drugs doesn't mean the addiction went away. It just means you're managing it. That's who's controlling our health. This is who is speaking out against vaccines. This super genius is a heroin addict, a drug addict. And he's lecturing us about the healthy things and chugging unpasteurized milk. This dumb fuck is who sets our health policies in this country. This is where we are in 2026. We have this chuckle fuck deciding our health policies and thinking the measles is okay. The Pussycat Dolls, a women's rock band or pop band, kicked out I guess she didn't kick out. They just recently come back together and doing a reunion tour. In fact, they're going to be featured on stage here in West Hollywood in June for our annual Pride event. They're going to be one of the main acts. But one of their members was clearly a MAGA and anti-vaxxer, and they did not bring her along on the reunion tour. And, you know, of course, MAGAs are like all playing the victim, but they can choose who they bring on a reunion tour. And, you know, if you're going to be a MAGA and you're going to be anti-vax and anti-science and anti-common sense, it has fucking consequences. She can go tour with Kid Rock. You know, she can go play his next year's Super Bowl party.
He'd be the only pussy he gets.
Yeah. probably.
Yeah, probably cut that one out.
Yeah, we'll probably edit that out. He made Mark make a little more that way. I caramba. We don't need to repeat that one. Don't put that on the best of clips.
Exactly.
Note to self. Learn not to say the word.
Yes, I should have learned that 8 years ago. That's right.
Did that the hard way. No offense. Bringing a little Rodney Dangerfield there. And some people are up in arms. Most people, anybody that has common sense realizes, that the Pussycat Dolls just didn't want to have an association with somebody that behaves like that, and I don't blame them. I mean, they play a lot of events, including pride events, and, there's not like their core audience is a bunch of white male MAGAs, or anyway, like, I mean, they're not, some wacko like Kid Rock or somebody like that. Like, they're not, it's not their audience. And, so they made that decision. And I think more people need to do stuff like that. We need to cancel people that are going to act like that, because when it's reversed, they cancel us all the time. Look at the Bud Light smear campaign. Look at the targeting of Target stores. The Target puts up a couple rainbows once a year during June and Pride Month and sells a couple rainbow-laden clothes or something. And fucking MAGAs went nuts over that shit, to the point where Target kind of hides their little pride display. Of course, unless it's in West Hollywood where they've got it prominently displayed. But they do that all the time to progressives and different minorities. We see them attack Obama because he wore a tan suit. You thought that Obama would have burnt down 20 MAGA churches or something. I mean, or ordered airstrikes on a fucking, Christian campground. He wore a fucking tan suit. And how long did we hear about that fucking tan suit? My God, like, it was insane, the shit with like, they put rainbows on 6 beer cans for the commercial only. And you think they would have put rainbows and dicks on about 2 million Bud Light cans or something. And how long did we hear about the trans woman doing a commercial for Bud Light? And dear God, how many brands does Anheuser-Busch own? They're part of InBev, which is, a Belgian company anyway. And it's one of these bizarre things that we suffer through this because conservatives have been canceling things for decades. But the moment it happens to one of their people, one of their Nazis and their flock, boy, did they play the victim for doing crazy shit, saying crazy shit, and simping for pedophiles and fucking and brown shirts. Like, it just, I don't understand it. And I'm hoping that we in this country are going to stop enabling it. And it's happened too many times. But we are up against our first break, and we'll be right back with some more Two Queers in a Truck after these important messages. Hey everybody, you can catch us on your favorite audio podcast platform, Spotify, and all Apple Store, the Google machine, and whoever else does podcasts. We're on there. We broke in and we're staying. So enjoy the Two Queers in a Truck on your favorite audio podcast platform. Thanks for listening or watching. Bye bye. Happy Pride.
Hi, this is Yorense Pascual Mateo. I am back. Spedicare is back in 2026, and yes, my hiatus was sad, and it was caused by a bunch of, butthurt losers. But I'm not going to say that. Don't worry, I'm here. I'm going to be annoying. I'm going to say fuck fascism, and I'm going to stand up against this shit. So please like, subscribe, enjoy my show, and let's fight against the bullshit that we continue to live with.
Hey y'all, thanks for listening to Two Queers in a Truck. And we do broadcast on YouTube and Facebook and a video version. And we're also on all the audio platforms out there. So your favorite way to listen to your podcast. We've been doing this for a couple years and we appreciate y'all listening. We know you have a ton of choices, even though we may be the best choice. We always appreciate our listeners and we'll try to bring you quality in the future. Thanks for listening. As always, Christian and Jenny, we're out. Thank y'all.
Howdy, y'all. Christian Cano here at the terrific new theater in Birmingham, Alabama.
My name is Tamara DeBolt. I'm the executive director of Terrific New Theater, the theater in which this glorious world premiere is taking place.
So you're not a cast member?
I am not.
And I'm Del Shores, and I'm not a cast member. I wrote the recipe box, and I directed it. Yes, and...
I'm Emerson Collins, and I play Rick Sprague, the depressive math professor who gets left by his husband and stuck with his mother-in-law.
I am the mother-in-law he is stuck with. My name is Carrie Gisler Oliver, and I play Luwanda Bayless, and she's a fun little character. I enjoy her very much.
Well, wonderful. Thank y'all for taking time to talk to us. What initially draws
And for me, I sort of love this idea of a man who wants to do okay in life, but has a significant childhood trauma that sort of overwhelms him into adulthood, and what that does to the relationships with the other characters and people in his life. And I find that really fascinating. It's we're all broken for various different reasons, and the particular things that he is stuck in that he can't get past, and how it impacts his relationships, and what it means to work through that and build a new relationship and sort of rediscover yourself was a really exciting sort of cliff to jump off of into this really great play.
We are back. Pete Cakestands, pastor, went on a podcast and had some things to say about James Telrico. He basically said, I pray that God kills James Telrico. Flat out says it. Doesn't say, I hope something happens to him or people don't vote for him or anything. Flat out says it, and then the host, which I'm not going to mention the podcast or the host because I don't want to promote another podcast on this show, but especially in assholes like these. But the host chimes in and goes further. If God doesn't kill him, we should, basically. openly and terroristically threatening to kill another Democrat. And this has happened recently when those Democrats got killed in 2024, 2025. Now, also, let's think about this. All the victim playing that they've been doing about Charlie Kirk and how they've elevated his widow into some kind of, martyr, poor widow, they got kids, this sort of now. She's having the time of her life with all that money and has made money off his death. But, we won't talk about that right now. But I think it's really bizarre, again, how they both play the victim and the aggressor. Now, was I upset that Charlie Cook leaned to the left a little bit towards the end? No. It was like taking out the trash. But it wasn't a progressive that shot him. We tend to forget about that. It wasn't a trans person. Wasn't a queer. Wasn't a black female Democrat. Another crazy conservative white boy. And they really haven't talked about the killer match or what he's linked to. They've been awfully quiet about that. Really quiet. Mag is also really quiet about Erica Kirk's child trafficking pastor. They've been real quiet about that.
And about the guy who planted those bombs at the DNC and the RNC.
Mm-hmm.
Remember, he was a Trump supporter.
They've been real quiet about a lot of that shit.
Yeah.
But boy, this asshole, this Brooks Pottinger or whatever his name is, prays that God kills James Tate Americo. And this is why I'm so concerned about the existence of churches and its undue influence on politics. If another professional, let's say the CEO of Coca-Cola, and I don't even know who the CEO of Coca-Cola is, got up on a podcast and called for the assassination of any Republican, just pick one, State House, fucking whomever, Ken Paxton would be a great one. You would have Kid Rock shooting up Coca-Cola cans and bottles. You'd have MAGAs screaming in the top of their lungs in their beat-up pickup trucks with writing all over it. You'd have them just shedding their little red, white, and blue onesies and stomping around like a bunch of impotent jerks. We'd be hearing about this for years. I still see remarks about the Bud Light stuff. And that's been 3, 4, or 5 years now. And, some MAGA, and this is not the first time a MAGA pastor has said this. It's not the first time we've heard of them saying, well, we need to use the Second Amendment against the gays or the trannies or the Democrats we've heard this, and not only have we heard it, but we've seen it happen with those 2 Democrats in Minnesota that got murdered and their spouses. It was. It's like it never even happened. It so left the news cycle, which is very interesting in itself. How easy that was swept to the side in a political year. Which dovetails right into the majority of Christianity is based on right-wing politics and hate. The majority of Christians, I have a tough time figuring out what they don't hate. When I think about Christian churches, all I think about is the hate they project. One of the many reasons why I don't participate in Christianity myself personally, and the majority of Americans don't, is because of the hate. There's no hate stronger than Christian love. And we're at the point where it has to be said. We have to talk about this. We have to have this in the conversation. And I don't have a problem with somebody observing personal faiths and rituals and things, because I think there's a lot of comfort that can come from that. I think there is a lot of healing that can come from faith. I don't think all faiths are bad. I don't think there's anything wrong. I know I've met and I have a lot of friends that are Islamic and Jewish and Christian and Buddhist. Like I know I have a diversity of people that I know that are very loving people that also are very devout in their faith, personal faith. And that's not what I'm saying. But let's call it what it is. Let's focus in on the institutions that are promoting this hate, like that Westboro Baptist Church, organizations like that are specifically hate groups, terrorism groups that target people, target humans they don't even fucking know. Let's talk about the abortion clinics that got bombed in the 70s, 80s, and 90s. How many doctors and people did they kill doing shit like that? All to protect mythological babies, fetuses, less than an ounce worth of tissue. They killed actually living human beings to protect unviable tissue masses that don't have arms, legs, or a brain. They killed actual breathing human beings. Let's talk about all the human beings they're killing now by denying them health care. Why do you think Luigi did what he did? And let's talk about Christianity, what it is. What it's been is an apparatus for powerful people to weaponize the populace into believing a certain way. Christianity's been used and abused for centuries. Look at the Puritans and what they did to women. Look at the atrocities the Mormon Church has done the last 200 years. Look at what we're doing in Iran now. And how many fanatical Republican MAGA pastors are trying to convince soldiers that this is a holy war. I'm excited about bringing up the rapture. And it's trying to start World War III. Is that not the weaponizing of faith? And that's coming from Christianity. Whipping people up into a frenzy, and they're afraid not to push back. And those faiths the ones that aren't drinking the Kool-Aid, the ones that are actively drinking the Kool-Aid know they're doing wrong. You can't help pieces of shit like that. But there is a lot of Christians that go along to get along. They're afraid to push back against Pastor Phil because he's going to damn them to hell. Because they believe he has the power to do that. I'm like,
they're so superstitious. They're afraid of his stink eye. They're afraid he's going to give them like a stink eye, as if though, he has that power.
Yeah. Truthfully, all religions are cults to a certain level, and there is a lot of brain washing in all faith-based groups. That's why they do the rituals, the standing, the kneeling, the praying, the demands of fasting and all this. These are rituals to make people submit to a faith. These are rituals of being, I'm going to flat out say, they're getting cucked by their God. And when you submit to this and you assume a submissive position, you're led by your nose down a little primrose path. And there's a lot of brainwashing with Christianity. I know. I grew up in a Christian household, and I went to church all of my childhood. But we are up against our second break. I'll be right back with some more Two Queers in a Truck after this message. Hey, y'all, this is Jetty with Two Queers in a Truck and Christians along with me. And we're just having fun, and we're looking forward to the 2025 season and super excited. We have some neat things going on in our whole family of shows, including Coffee and Pan Dulce, and many new shows that are brewing. Get it. And we are excited for 2025 and all the chicanery and other things that comes with it. So happy New Year, and we'll see you on the flip side. Bye, y'all.
Bye, y'all. Bye, boo.
Bye, boo.
Hi, everybody. This is Yorense from the Americo show over here. All I'm here is doing a little quick PSA. Use this summer to do volunteer work. Go to your nearest YMCA. Go to your nearest homeless shelter. Go to whatever community services or programs that you can help out and volunteer. Because right now, we have a bunch of fascist pieces of shit trying to rip apart our country and rip apart the people, our communities, by spreading hate and bigotry. The best way to combat it is, one, working in your community and standing strong to show that you are strong and you're here to help out others. Two, combat misinformation. If you hear bullshit, first research and make sure if it's true or not. If it is not true, call it out. If it is true, get the facts. Be knowledgeable of it, because it might come out later. So always stand against that. And three, fuck fascists. Stand against them. Make them feel uncomfortable. There is too many people out there feeling like they can say the hard R or say slurs or be violent. Make them understand that a lot of people die to make sure this hatred and bigotry does not exist. All our civil rights workers, all the people who stormed Normandy, everybody who fought against intolerance and hatred, they died and worked their asses off to stop this. So follow in their footsteps and stop this madness. This is Yorense again from Americo, and all I can say is be there for your community and stand up for what's right. Fuck fascism and have a wonderful day.
Hey, everyone. Thanks for watching the Two Queers in the Truck Show 2025 edition. We have a new special show that is coming on as part of the Cannis Media family of shows, and it's the Tony Foreman Show. And they're going to talk about a little bit different things than we typically talk about on the coffee show or the queer show that we often reference. And it's going to be a little bit more of a serious show, a little bit more of talking about very specific issues amongst Latin, Latino men and Hispanic men. Tony Foreman is the Afro-Latino. And then I'm assuming that Christian's going to be on the show as well, which is a Latino male, a Tejano. And they're going to talk about things that are probably important to their generations, to what's going on in pop culture and where they fit in the world. And I guess that's always the existential question. Why am I here? But anyway, if you want to know why you're here and you whether you fit in that demographic or not, it should be interesting. I know Tony and Christian will keep it light and funny, and probably a little bit of silliness in there too, to boot. I'm looking forward to listening to it myself and not having to actually produce a show all the time. But please tune in at 10 o'clock on Wednesday mornings when that show drops, and enjoy more shows from the Cannis Media family in 2025. Thank y'all. And even Trump made that remark early on in his 2016 campaign, laughing about these pastors and going, can you believe this shit? And this was said many times, that he knows that Republicans are dumber than Democrats. And one of the reasons is because the evangelical right-wing crazy side of Christianity. And for the good Christians out there, I'm not talking to you, but I am. Y'all still allow it. You guys need to reform your own movement. Good Christians aren't really good Christians as long as they allow bad Christians to be bad actors in our country. if you guys willfully stand by and allow Christianity to be used that way, how good are you? It'd be like 40% of the attorneys out there being psychopaths. But the other 60%, the majority of the attorneys, allowing them to go and not get disbarred and removed out of the industry or prosecuted. Looking the other way doesn't make you a good person. It makes you complicit. The Hague said that about the Nazis that said they were forced onto it. Just following orders is not an excuse. In fact, it makes you worse. Being a good Christian is not being complicit with Nazism. Purge your religion of Nazis and dictators and psychopaths and pedophiles. The Christian social club industry needs to get a hold of themselves and control of these problematic sects of their deal. They need to decide what the rules of engagement and what the outcome is. As an industry, they need to work together to get this under control, or Christian churches need to be disbanded altogether and not be an industry. But they just be part of free speech, but we don't need an industry making money off people suffering. And that's what Christian churches primarily do, is they make money off people suffering and discomfort. And it's wrong. And they shouldn't be able to do that tax-free. They shouldn't be able to lobby. They shouldn't be able to support. There's a reason why there's a law against it, but it's not being enforced. There's a lot of problems in this country, and a lot of them stop and start with two groups of people: Christian churches and billionaires. And those two sources is what's built MAGA into the dictatorship that it is today. And it's caused a lot of the problems. And we're suffering, and other countries are suffering immeasurably. People are dying because of these diseases. People in this country are starving and suffering. We've brought measles back because of MAGAs and these Christian churches being anti-vax. It's insane. And there has to be a point where it's got to be said. Because there has to be a time of accountability. These organizations and these billionaires have to be held accountable for the suffering that we're going through. And there has to be a label on these groups. And we have to say, no. At the end of the day, when accountability comes, you guys need to be tried for this. And you need to be dealt with once and for all. And if that means disbanding that church or that organization, so be it. You don't need to be practicing Nazism under the Christian flag. We need to depoliticize churches or treat them like corporations. But there needs to be some adjustments to some things. There needs to be some accountability. They call for our accountability all the time. I've watched them lie about the transgender community over and over again. All these bigoted bills that are going through state houses this year, and I think it's been like 2,000 different individual anti-transgender bills that have passed across the United States the last 2 years alone. For what? To keep little trans girls from playing soccer. And who's fueling that? MAGA and churches. That's who's behind it. Because I know when I testified in 2017 to the Texas Congress, the antis They were anti the transgender community, even existing and going to the bathroom. The main people there that testified against my community and for the anti-transgender bill were all churches, all Christian churches. Their experts were all Christian churches. They only had about 40 people there, and we had like 400. And we had doctors and police chiefs and all saying, we don't need this. And it was one of the first two bills to exist. The North Carolina one, the most famous one, and then the Texas one the year after. Luckily, the Texas one never became law. It died in the Texas House. Passed the Texas Senate, which is where I testified in 2017. But the Speaker of the House in Texas, a Republican, killed it. Never let it get out of committee. But it was motivated by Christians in the Texas Senate, including, even though he wasn't in the Texas Senate, but it was motivated by our good friend Ken Paxton and a bunch of Dallas and North Austin MAGA Christian churches where they targeted the transgender community for absolutely no reason. On a side note,
On a lighter note,
on a much funnier note, to mention Donnie Diaper King is an imaginary talks with Iran. Now, that wasn't the headline from the Atlantic. They just said,
yeah.
Iran doesn't know anything about these talks that the Diaper King is saying he's having with them.
But haven't we already, at least on this show and our other shows, haven't we already accepted the reality? Anytime Trump says anything, it's either bullshit, he says it because he just doesn't know anything else to say, or it's bullshit. I mean, there's nothing that comes out of his mouth that is completely true. It's always, he just says shit.
Yeah.
He's like the crazy crack guy in the corner who just says shit.
Oh, yeah. I'm sure he's on legal crack. There's no telling what he's on.
Right.
There's no telling what kind of flippies and floppies he even takes to. I mean, I just saw a video of him the other day sitting down to sign this bill, and he made a Biden joke. I mean, this guy's so eat up by Obama and Biden, it's not even funny. But he can barely sit down.
Yeah.
Of course, he can't sit down too fast or he'll squish that diaper.
I was going to say, maybe it's the squishing sound, like a pillow.
Also, his lack of balance, probably most likely is from like very advanced case of frontal lobe dementia, like the way he stands and leans the way he does.
Yeah, yeah.
But the dude is, between probably having syphilis brain and all these other ailments and, karma.
Yeah.
He's just caught up to the dude. And he just sitting there rambling like a mad king. And everybody around him was saying he doesn't have much of a tongue. And we're hooked on him. Well, we've been saying this for a while. We're hoping he's sunsetting really fast. But also, too, another side note, the U.S. Army also raised its enlistment age. You can now enlist in the Army all the way up to age 42 now.
Oh, man, I missed it.
I barely missed it.
Dagnabbit. Rats.
You can enlist into the Army all the way up to age 42 now. And if you have a marijuana conviction, that won't be taken into consideration.
Oh, cool.
So they'll take potheads all the way up to 42 now.
They sure will. Yeah.
Probably
That's
for a
good to
lot of
hear.
reasons. There's probably a lot of people that aren't enlisting. And of course, there's a churn. There's people that are, opt out or have to leave or whatever. I mean, I don't know how many are actually in the branch of the U.S. Army, but it's, the biggest branch.
Yeah.
But they're losing people all the time, but they're not getting many people signing up between Venezuela and Iran.
Yeah, I mean, who would want to join the army under the leadership of Trump?
Well, enlistments are way down. They were way down last year. They're way down this year for all the branches. Because you look at who your commander-in-chief is before you join the military.
Yeah.
And only the dumbest of the dumb are going to go follow the mad king in the battle.
Yeah.
No, I mean, if you're already in, and you were already in when 2025 started, so be it. Or if it was your career that sucks, I hate that for you. But people that aren't in right now and have the option not to go in and pursue a different path, they're doing it. They're just like the topic of there's the birth rates, the pregnancy rates for women 30 and under are at record lows.
Mm-hmm.
There's like women opting out not to get pregnant before it happens.
Yeah.
And being more cautious than ever is the same reason why young people under 30 aren't enlisting. And this Iran war, unlike the 9/11 wars for profit, aren't encouraging even rednecks to go and join the military. Because anybody casually watching this knows what's going on in Iran and how we're handling this and how it started is 100% a clusterfuck. It's like the Keystone Cops.
Mm-hmm.
And nobody wants to volunteer for that.
Yeah.
You got people in the Navy setting fire to aircraft carriers so severely they got to take it back to a dock to do repairs, which I think that's a cover story. I think it probably got hit. Nobody wants to admit it.
Yeah. By mine.
Yeah. Or something.
Yeah.
Or a drone or something.
Yeah.
It's really suspicious because they also are repositioning the other carriers too. We'll also are seeing ground forces like Marines and Army members not wanting to get deployed, refusing to get deployed. This is a mess. And it's a quagmire. And it's a little comical when the Army itself is taking people all the way up to middle age. I mean, 42 and be a brand new private in the military. That's pretty fucking young. I mean, that's pretty fucking old.
Can you imagine being 42 taking instructions from a 25-year-old?
Yeah,
you could.
That's just insane because a lot of the drill instructors are probably in their mid-20s to early 30s.
Yeah.
Going,
hey, Dad.
You're 41-year-old, schlep rock that one moment was sitting around watching TV and going, well, the factory just laid me off because Jeff Bezos bought my company and that I was working for, and they replaced me with a robot.
I'm gonna be all I can be.
Lead, follow, and get it out of the way. I chose to follow right in the battle. I want to go to Iran, kill me some Muslims.
I want to ran to Iran.
Jesus. But anyway, that's all we have for Two Queers in a Truck this week. And we'll see y'all next week. Bye, y'all.
Bye, y'all. Bye, boo.
Hey, y'all. Thanks for watching Two Queers in a Truck. And as always, have a great spring. We're right in the middle of April here. And, have a good time. Spring flowers and all that kind of stuff. Or I guess
spring flowers, spring flowers. What's the saying? Spring flowers, spring.
I think it's April showers.
Oh, okay. That shows you. I have no idea.
I can't even remember the saying anymore. But either way, we got the time change out of the way. We got the spring out of the way, and we're having a great time. Hope you guys are too, and we'll see you next week. Bye, y'all.
Bye, y'all. Bye, boo.